Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today we're back in the garage with the KRX and we are going to be installing some folding seat bases. So why would you want to install the folding seat base? Well, getting in behind the seats, there's a lot of room, but it's not the easiest thing in the world. And one of my complaints on the KRX is the seat sliders, they stink. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna install some folding seat bases. Now you have a couple options out there. My initial response when I thought about putting a folding seat base in was to build it myself. And that was the original plan. And right here, I have some bullet hinges and some latches I was gonna use. I was gonna get some flat stock, some angle iron, square tubing, something to build a folding seat base. But as I looked online, there was a couple options out there and I really liked them. I couldn't decide on one. So for you, you get to see two different ones out there. So there's only about 4 options at the time I'm filming this of seat bases. There's the Brute Performance ones. There is EXC just came out with them. The problem with those two is they're both out of stock. The other ones out there are the Pro Steel, which is right here, and then the Warp 9, which is right here. And there's going to be some pros and cons to both of them. So let me show you an up-close look of both these before I unpackage them and we start the install. So here's the Pro Steel seat base. Now these come in 2 different versions. They come with a standard one like this, or another version where it gives you an extra set of holes to push your seat back 3 inches. The problem with the 3-inch extension is you can't use it with a Click 6 harness currently. They're working on a solution for that, so you have to run it in the stock location holes. Now this one's a fairly easy install. It gives you 4 bolts here. You bolt your factory seats right here to the nutserts, and then you bolt the base plate here to these holes with the factory hardware. It doesn't get much easier than that. So how this works is a latch. You pull it, and your seat will slide forward and out, which is pretty nice. You put it back in, it goes down, and it clicks in. So it's a nice, simple design. The downfall of the Pro Steel is they are made for driver or passenger. So this is the driver side one. As you can see, the release is over here. And if you're at a passenger side one, it'd be a different release, and the cable will come out there. The other thing I noticed on here is it's just a little bit of play. And the Kawasaki seats already have some play, so this, I don't know if it's going to exacerbate it or not, but with the Click 6, I probably won't feel it. Another thing I'm noticing on this is if you want access to the battery, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to remove the plate. Now, it will be easy to remove the plate because the seat frame won't be there, but that's just something to think about. I think this would do really good on the passenger side where you don't need to get underneath here. So let's push this one aside and look at the Warp 9. So here's your Warp 9 packaging. I haven't even opened this yet. So here's your nice billet aluminum. It says Warp 9 engraved there. Now this rail here is what's going to bolt on to the factory mounts. The interesting part is with the Warp 9 is this is the front, these are the rear. It doesn't matter if it's passenger or driver side, but there is some assembly required. So they send you all the parts to put together, and you do have to assemble it. These pieces here are what's going to go onto the seat brackets, and they will go up here like this, and that's where it's going to pivot. You also have the pieces back here that bolt onto the back of the seats. Now if you look in the bag, you have these pins. These pins are what you have to pull to remove the seat. So with the Pro Steel, you can just slide it forward and pop it off. This doesn't work that way. You have to pull the pins and then you can pull the release mechanism and pop it off. So let's go ahead, let's get the factory seats out and get these installed. So first up on the install list is the Pro Steel. Not a real hard install, it's 8 bolts. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and release the base, just like this. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm going to bolt this in with the factory hardware. So these clips here that you can see, those go towards the front. So I'll go ahead and get this in now. Okay, getting started on this one. I've got the seat removed. You're going to have to take a 10mm and remove this. and you will not be reusing this. This keeps the stock seat in. Then it's as simple as just lining up the holes and putting the bolts back in and torquing them down. Now don't forget, this is the oddball bolt of your factory seat bolts, so you can go ahead, put the short one back here, make sure you hand start everything, and then go ahead and get these tightened down with a wrench. So it's as simple as that. Now, one thing that, like I said earlier, you may have a hard time getting to the battery. You may have to pull this seat base, but honestly, it's just the 4 bolts. And look at all the room you have back here. It lets you get into changing your airbox so much easier. If you need to get to your ECU or something in there, or just running wiring, cleaning, whatever. I mean, it's a lot of room. So let's go ahead and move on to the install of the seat base. Once you have the seat base installed, next it's time to mount the brackets to the seats. Now, as I showed you before, you have these nut certs with some bolts, and they're just a 13mm. So you can go ahead, you can put these on in the factory mounting holes. The hardest part of this is just lining up the sliders, as I like to move just a little bit. So let's get those mounted and get moving. So to mount the seat frame to the base, I put it on the welding table just to make life a little bit easier so I'm not on the ground. So I've got how I lined up the rear holes. I will start those, get them hand tight, then slide the rails back to get the front ones done. Now remember, when you're mounting these, if you buy a pair, they are not interchangeable per the instructions. They will probably fit, but they're pretty close tolerance, and they're made as a set. So let's go ahead and get these on and move on to the Warp 9. Let's bring this in. Make sure you click 6. Look at that. So we got the seat cushion in. Okay, so seat cushion's in. There is a little bit more play, but to release the seat, come down the side, pull the lever, and out it goes. Put it back in. Catches. All right, let's move on to the other side. So let's take a look at the Warp 9 hardware, what comes into kits. So you have your rails, you have a center bar, you have the latches with some pins and springs, you have some pins or pivot points, thread locker, the stuff that's going to bolt to the seat bottom. You have 2 13mm bolts, and then this is interesting, you have your 2 nuts. And then you have the passenger side seat or the driver's side. So they give you the extra hardware depending on what you're going to install. We're going to use it on the passenger side, so these 3 won't be needed. So let's start assembling this and then get it in the KRX. So when you assemble this, it's not overly hard. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our rails. You're going to take these pivot points. Now you want it, see how that's got the angle? So we're going to put a spring in the back, and push it in here, slide the pin through. And like I said, notice that angle like this is down, so it will catch. We're going to do the same thing on this other piece. So that is step 1. All right, step 2. So on step 2, make sure that you have these pivot points orientated towards the front. So you go ahead and put these on, just like this, line the holes up. Being on the passenger side, I'm going to use the 4 short bolts and some thread locker. All right, so I'm having a hard time getting these started. The back ones are starting just fine. What I found is I can't hardly get the front ones started, just a couple of threads. And what I've noticed is this piece of plastic right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim that. Even though I've looked in the instructions and it doesn't say anywhere to trim it, I'm gonna trim this off. That's at least 1/8 of an inch or more, and it's stopping the threads from starting, just to let this sit nice and flush. So I'll mark it, and I'll get a utility knife and just trim it. All right, I got this in. I had to cut these out. Now I might have missed it in the instructions, but it didn't say anywhere about cutting them out. Honestly, it was easier to cut these out with a utility knife than it was for the Click 6. So these are nice and snug. You don't have to over tighten these, you have some blue Loctite. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the release mechanism in. That's this piece. Make sure you hand start these. We're gonna come back here, push these pins, and it's just gonna slide on in. And leave about 1/8 of an inch of the bar on either sides. Then you're gonna go ahead and take your 2mm Allen head and just tighten these up. So I can move back and forth a little bit, but that's it. Next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a Phillips head screwdriver, remove this screw. Put your washer back down there. We're gonna just feed this through, clamp it down, and this is just a guide for the release. And we'll snug this down. So now when you pull this, so you can see these are moving, and that's what's going to release the seat base. So let's go back to the workbench and install the seat bottoms. Okay, so for the front of the seat, we're going to use this piece. Now this is what's going to lock into the front. So you're going to take this with some of your thread locker that's been provided, put just a little bit of thread locker on here, and hand tighten the bolt. This is a 13mm nut. We're just going to hand tighten it so we can get it in the KRX with the seat orientation, and then we'll snug them down because these will move just a little bit like that, so you don't want to over tighten it. Do the same thing on the bottom one. So that's for the front. For the rear, you need these, which are also a 13mm, and you need the pucks. Now if you look at the profile of this puck, there's that lip on the bottom. See that? And that's what's going to catch into that seat. So this is the top piece. What we'll do, we're going to slide our seat rail back just like that. We're going to put some more thread locker, and these, if you look, the top right there has an orientation, so you can kind of crank down on these. Okay, let's go ahead and put this into the KRX. So we'll come in. So what I'm going to do is line up these front pieces first. There we go. Second pin in. Make sure to lock. And now we'll slide the seat back and snug up those bolts. Pull the latch and up and down. Nice positive engagement. And then to remove it, pull the pins, pull the latch, okay, and then reinstall. And then just push the pins in. Okay, let's wrap this video up. Let's stay over here. Don't pay attention to any of that stuff. That's for a future video. So, which base plate for your seat is better? Well, that's really your option and on how you're going to use it. So let's talk about the Pro Steel and the Warp 9 that I have here. So price, honestly, they're within $10 of each other, so it's not that big of a deal. Don't let that affect your decision, honestly. Let's talk about the Pro Steel. Pro Steel is a little easier to install. It's 10 to 15 minutes. It only comes with 4 extra bolts. There's no assembly required. The Pro Steel has a 3-point engagement system. So 2 pins on the front and then 1 latch on the rear. And it's got a bar in there to keep it from moving, but it does move a little bit. You do have a little bit of play with that. But the Kawasaki seats from the factory have some play with it. And that's from the slider mechanism only engaging on one side for your seat adjustment. And that's a Kawasaki downfall. So I wouldn't knock the Pro Steel by any means on that. The Pro Steel is definitely heavier, a lot heavier because it's steel. It's got a large steel plate. So that's something to think about if you're weight conscious. The Pro Steel is also easier to get your seats in and out. What I mean by that is once you pull the latch release, you just pick it up a little bit and slide it forward. It's very simple to get in and out. But that could be a downfall depending on how you want to use the system. If you're one that only wants to tip the seat forward all the time and not take it out, something you might want to think about. The Pro Steel, I know there is an option. It's not on the website, but if you call them, they will make you a second top plate. I know someone who's done it for their KRX. He's gotten his passenger side so that when his wife's not with him, he can take the seat out. He can put that second top plate in there, and he's got a Milwaukee Packouts brackets mounted to it. So he can have his tools, his cooler, whatever he needs in the cab right there with him. And he's got another one mounted in the bed. So depending on how he wants to arrange his stuff or where he wants weight displacement, what he's doing, he can put stuff in the bed, in the cab, vice versa, or he can have the seat. So it's kind of a cool feature that you can't do with the Warp 9. Let's talk about the Warp 9. It's nice, it's slick, it's some assembly required, doesn't take long, but it's all billet aluminum. I like the fact that it's a 4-point positive engagement system. What I mean by that, you got 2 pins that you have to pull out to remove the fronts, and then in the rear where it would bolt into the factory, it's got 2 more clips that engage to the spring-loaded clasp that goes over it. So I like that feature. I also like the feature when you pull the lever, it goes just to the forward. You don't have to remove the seat. So if you have bags or whatnot storage behind here, I keep my belt and the toe strap behind the passenger seat in a dry bag. You can just fold it forward. It's just preference. I don't want to have to take the seat out every time, so I really like that feature. The downside is on that passenger side rail, it moves on you. It's because it doesn't have the engagement on the seat adjuster, so it'll move 4 to 6 inches. So when you go to put the seat back in, that could make it a little bit trickier. It's not hard, but just something to look at. Other than that, they're really about the same. You can't go wrong with either one. I like the fact they both lift you up about an inch, inch and a half. I'm taller, so it gives me a little bit more leg room. And then it lets my wife see over the windshield because she's shorter and she can slide the seat forward. So this gives her a little bit better bird's eye view. So if I had to choose one, I could only choose one, what would I be? It would be the Warp 9. And the reason being is I don't foresee myself taking the seat out often. I would see more tipping it forward. And even if we're going to power wash it, pulling those 2 pins isn't a big deal. I like that it's aluminum, so the powder coating is not going to chip off. It's not going to rust. It's just one less thing. It's a little bit lighter. But honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. If you're one that wants to do the Milwaukee Packout system or something similar, I know there's a lot of systems out there, the Pro Steel may be the way to go. And the other reason I like the Warp 9 is, well, on the Pro Steel, I can only remove it from the side. The driver and passenger specific, where the Warp 9, it's up in the front, just like your seat adjuster. So, like I said, you can't go wrong with either one. I hope you've kind of figured out, if you're going to do this modification, which one you would want. If you need something now, today, mailed out tomorrow if you order it today, Pro Steel is the way to go. Warp 9 took about a week for them to ship it, but they're really busy. It's a much larger company. So I hope I helped to make some decisions. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and until next time.